In my last video, I demonstrated how to trade Pokemon from an emulator on a phone to an actual Nintendo 3DS console and into Pokemon Home on the Nintendo Switch. With Delta Emulator on iPhone now able to play DS games online, it reopens the doors for so many classic games. Here's Mario Kart DS working online between two phones in 2025, here's Metroid Prime Hunters working surprisingly well for an online first-person shooter game, and here's Ancient Lake in Diddy Kong Racing DS to name a few. And of course, like Pokemon, you can play these online-enabled games cross-platform between Delta on iPhone and an actual Nintendo DS or 3DS console. I do have all three of these games from when I was a kid, so it's nice that I can now resurrect them back to their full potential. But in this video, we're back focusing on Pokemon. While transferring any Pokemon you've caught yourself from phone to a DS console was the main focus of my last video, in this video, I'll be going through every past event Pokemon you can get on Delta on your phone right now in Gens 4 and 5 through Mystery Gift, which you can then transfer to a DS and into Pokemon Home, and you better believe there's a lot of them. I'll be starting first with the Gen 4 games and then move on, of course, to the Gen 5 games. I'll then explain everything you need to know to obtain the Japanese event Shiny GENESECT and transfer it into Pokemon Home. And then finally, I'll finish up with some troubleshooting tips I've since learned following my previous video. If you want to jump to any specific part of this video, then these are the timestamps here. As explained in my last video, the DNS server built into Delta that I'll be using to obtain mystery gifts in both Gen 4 and Gen 5 is this one here. This server is in fact what you want to be using for everything online related for both gens, except for trading in Gen 4, which works best with the WeLink WFC server. With that in mind, let's start Gen 4 with the games that feature the most obtainable mystery gifts, Diamond and Pearl. For those who don't know, you can obtain 34 mystery gifts through the English Diamond and Pearl games. To get the mystery gift option in your main menu, if you haven't already got it, you need to talk to this NPC on the 3rd floor of the Jubilife TV building and input the secret phrase, "Everyone Happy Wi-Fi Connection." After that, the mystery gift option will appear on your main menu. Now, to make it easier to keep track of these gifts, I've created a handy spreadsheet, which I'll link for download in this video's description. I've arranged the Pokemon mystery gifts you can obtain by national dex order, and then I've included the items you can obtain below them. I've also listed the original distribution dates in this column here, so I recommend changing your iPhone's date before redeeming if you're going for a specific gift. Everything in the Diamond and Pearl section that is highlighted light blue here are mystery gifts you can only obtain exclusively through these games, not Platinum or Heart Gold or Soul Silver. Now, each time you search for a mystery gift, it will give you one at random. So if you're looking for a specific mystery gift in this list, you'll have to keep searching until you find the one you're looking for. Mystery gifts you've already obtained will still come up when searching, but if you've already obtained a specific gift, you won't be able to get another one. Now, very importantly, with some of these Pokemon, you'll be able to obtain multiple mystery gifts of them, as there were several different versions given out in different countries. Manaphy in this list is a great example of this. For some other Pokemon that had multiple distributions, however, like Celebi, you'll only be able to obtain one in-game, despite 3 being distributed originally, and you won't get a choice of which one you get. E.g., the Celebi I received through Mystery Gift in Pearl for the making of this video is the European Winter 2011 Celebi. However, trying to obtain another Celebi to try and get the America Winter 2011 Celebi, for example, won't let me. I don't know why this is for some Pokemon, and the game does this with several event mons, which I've highlighted in green on the spreadsheet for the ones that do this. I've listed in the spreadsheet the specific Pokemon IDs I was given, as well as the other ones that are available. My guess, based off my findings, is the game allows you to claim multiple of all the Gen 4 legendaries and mythicals that are given out, with Arceus being the only exception. So my advice before you start looking for a certain event Pokemon, export your game's save file to iCloud through Delta first before claiming any mystery gifts, just in case you get the wrong one you're looking for and want to restore from backup. One final thing before we start, each time you get a mystery gift, your game will save the Wonder Card that comes with it. In Generation 4, you can only hold 3 Wonder Cards at a time. So if you've already claimed 3 Wonder Cards but want more mystery gifts, then simply delete the Wonder Cards before searching for more. Deleting the Wonder Card won't actually delete the gift itself. So to begin, again in National Dex order, in Diamond and Pearl, you can get Ash's Pikachu, which was given out in Toys R Us stores in the US and Canada in early 2011. This Pikachu you can obtain in every Generation 4 game. Next, exclusive to only Diamond and Pearl is the Nintendo Zone Pikachu, which was given out in person at the Nintendo World Store in New York in late 2008. Another Diamond and Pearl exclusive is a rare level 50 Dragonite, Lance Eat Your Heart Out, which was given out in Toys R Us stores in the US and Puerto Rico for 2 days only in November 2008. Next is Crobat, which can be obtained in all Generation 4 games and was given out during the 2010 Pokemon World Championships in Hawaii. Next is the Pikachu colored Pichu, or more simply, Shiny Pichu, which was only obtainable in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum through either an in-person event at GameStop in early 2010 or as a Wi-Fi mystery gift 1 month later in spring 2010. Now, this is the first example of the game only giving you one version of the mystery gift. In my case, in my playthrough of Pearl, I got given the GameStop version of the Pikachu-colored Pichu, meaning this same save file can now never obtain the spring 2010 version of the Shiny Pichu. Now, this Shiny Pichu is fairly boring in the Sinnoh region, but if you trade it to a console, or in my example here, another phone that has Heart Gold or Soul Silver running, and then you add that Pichu to the front of your party and take it to the shrine inside the Ilex Forest in Johto, you'll unlock a secret event where you can obtain a very special spiky-eared Pichu. While it's a cool event and a very unique Pokemon to own, spiky-eared Pichu is only exclusive to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and can't be transferred to Gen 5 or even Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum, as the form simply does not exist. It is forever tied to Johto. Next up is the legendary trio of Johto, Shiny Raikou, Shiny Entei, and Shiny Suicune, which can be obtained in every Gen 4 game. Now, like Shiny Pichu, these were given out at either GameStop in the US and Canada in early 2011 or over Wi-Fi soon after. And also, like Shiny Pichu, you'll only be able to get one of each from Mystery Gift. In my playthrough of Pearl, I got the Winter 2011 Shiny Raikou, but for the Shiny Entei and Shiny Suicune, I received the GameStop versions. All three Pokemon share the same Wonder Card text, so you may see the game saying you've already received the gift, but keep searching for them in Mystery Gift until you've found all three. Next is Celebi, which there are 3 different versions of, obtainable via Mystery Gift across all Gen 4 games. However, like the previous Pokemon, you can only receive one. As mentioned earlier, I obtained the European Winter 2011 Celebi in my Pearl playthrough. However, you can also get either the American Winter 2011 Celebi or a super rare GameStop version of Celebi, which was never meant to be distributed, but in fact was for a short time in early 2011. The next Pokemon, Shiny Milotic, is interesting, as it was originally given out in mid-2009 at qualifying tournaments for Worlds 2009 in the US and UK to Platinum games only. However, for some reason, you can also obtain it through Mystery Gift on Diamond and Pearl too. I'm not sure why this is, but we'll take it. The next Pokemon is Jirachi, which was given out for all Generation 4 games from late June 2010 as either a Wi-Fi event or in Australia at Toys R Us and Big W stores a few weeks earlier. There were also 2 others given out in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum at GameStop in the US in early 2010 and also in Latin America. This is another Pokemon you'll only be able to get one of from Mystery Gift. In my case, I received the Australian Summer version, as denoted by the ID number and the original trainer name. Next is Deoxys, which was exclusively given out for Diamond and Pearl games in mid-2008 at GameStop in the US, and also the Nintendo World Store in New York. This was the only Deoxys event for Gen 4, so this is the only Deoxys you'll be able to get. Another Diamond and Pearl exclusive mystery gift is Lucario, which was given out at the 2008 World Championships in Orlando, Florida in August of that year. This is the only Lucario distribution in Gen 4. Next up is Weavile, which was given out at the 2009 World Championships in San Diego, California in August 2009. According to both Bulbapedia and Cerebi, this Pokemon was distributed in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum games. However, in my testing for this video, I have so far failed to find it in Platinum as a mystery gift. Let me know if you guys have any luck. The next Pokemon is Regigigas, which had 2 distributions in 2009, and you can obtain both of these via mystery gift. The first was given out in person at Toys R Us in the US and Puerto Rico in March 2009, exclusively to Diamond and Pearl games, while the second European Summer 2009 Regigigas was distributed at various events in the UK from July to September of the same year, and also late August in the Netherlands. Next up is Manaphy, and like Regigigas, you can obtain every version which was given out in Diamond and Pearl. This includes the Toys R Us event in the US in September 2007, the Nintendo World Store event in New York in October 2007, the Entertainment for All event that was given out in LA also in October 2007, and the Australian JB Hi-Fi event, which was given out in November 2007. Not a bad piece of history. Next is Darkrai, which was given out exclusively to Diamond and Pearl games. This is a bit of an odd one. While the list of English events states that there were 4 given out, you can only obtain 3 English event Darkrai through mystery gift. Weirdly though, you can also obtain this 4th one here, which I believe is Dutch. So the 4 that I obtained for this video was this Darkrai, which is either from the Nintendo World Store events or the Toys R Us event from May to June 2008, as they have the same stats. Then there's the European Darkrai given out in the UK and Netherlands in August 2008, the Australian Darkrai given out from late October to November 2008, and then this 4th Darkrai, which is the European version but in the Dutch language, as mentioned just before, which was given out in the Netherlands. The next Pokemon is Shaman, which had 2 two Diamond and Pearl distributions in 2009 that you can obtain both of via mystery gift. The first was given out in person at Toys R Us in the US and Puerto Rico in February 2009, and the second is the movie 11 Shaman, which was given out at various stores throughout Europe from early to mid 2009. The final Pokemon you can obtain via mystery gift in Diamond and Pearl and also in Platinum is Arceus, and unlike the other Gen 4 mythicals, the game will only give you one. There are three possible Arceus you can obtain, which include the Australian Arceus, which was given out at Kmart and EB Games in November 2009, the Toys R Us Arceus, also given out in 2009 in the US and Puerto Rico, and the European Arceus, which was given out in various locations in early 2010. Myself personally, I got given the European version. Now, like Shiny Pichu, if you were to trade this Arceus into Heart Gold or Soul Silver, you'll unlock an exclusive event. Putting Arceus at the front of your party and then trying to enter this building here in the Ruins of Alph will trigger an event that will eventually see you and Arceus teleported to the Sinjoh Ruins. Here, there is a building where you'll find the Sinnoh champion Cynthia. If you deposit all the Pokemon in your party but Arceus into the PC and then follow Cynthia back into the ruins, you'll trigger perhaps the most unique cutscene in all of Pokemon. This will see Arceus bring to life either a level 1 Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina, and these are shiny huntable at 1 in 8,192 odds. Which one you obtain is solely up to you. Now, that's it for Pokemon mystery gifts in Diamond and Pearl. However, there are 7 more mystery gift items you can obtain. This includes the member card for the Darkrai encounter, usually found in Platinum, and Oak's letter for the Shaman encounter, usually also found in Platinum. This Pearl playthrough that I've been using is unfinished, so even using a walk-through walls glitch on the Darkrai house here doesn't trigger any loading zone, and of course nothing happens with the Shaman event either, but you can weirdly see Shaman glitched in here if you walk through walls, and then you can also encounter it further up the path in the Flower Paradise. Obtaining these mystery gift items on a completed save, however, in my case, my physical copy of Pearl here, I am actually able to trigger the Darkrai event by first obtaining the Lunar Wing from Cresselia on Full Moon Island, which will then unlock the inn, which we couldn't get into before, and trigger the New Moon Island cutscene, and eventually get the encounter with Darkrai. The same also works on a completed save of Pearl with Shaman, with firstly the Professor Oak interaction, and then the path to Shaman appearing, allowing you to encounter it up in the Flower Paradise. Another item given out to the 3 Sinnoh games is the Lucario doll, which you can add to your secret base in the underground. This is a rare gift which was only available in Japan in May 2009. Another Japanese-only event is the Poketch Matchup Checker, which was given out from late April to mid-May 2007. This app checks the compatibility Pokemon would have when left in the daycare. While this was just an event in Diamond and Pearl, it is in fact obtainable in Platinum in the Great Marsh. 2 other apps for the Poketch available for all 3 Sinnoh games are the Stopwatch and the Alarm Clock, but these were never officially released at all and are usually unobtainable under any circumstance. Now, the final mystery gift you can obtain in Diamond and Pearl is the Azure Flute to encounter Arceus, but this was also never officially released in any of the games under any circumstance. Like Darkrai and Shaman, if you try to trigger this event on an unfinished save, nothing will happen and you'll just have a weird sequence break ready to play out. But if you've got a completed save in any of the Sinnoh games, the Arceus event will trigger, which will allow you to walk up the staircase that appears and encounter the event that GameFreak thought would be too confusing for players to figure out. And with that, that is all the mystery gifts you can obtain right now in Diamond and Pearl. Now, for those on Platinum, your mystery gift pool will be much less compared to Diamond and Pearl, 18 to be exact. While testing for this video, I did in fact get a different event Pichu, Entei, Celebi, Jirachi, and Arceus when redeeming gifts in Platinum compared to the ones I found in Diamond and Pearl. Now, of the 18 mystery gifts you can get in Platinum, only one is unique. That being the secret key, which can be used to access the secret Rotom room inside the Team Galactic building in Eterna City. You first have to clear the Galactic events in the building to be able to access the room, and once inside, if you were to bring a Rotom in here, you'll be able to change its form. Now, moving on to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which only has 16 obtainable mystery gifts in the English versions of the game. 9 of these are actually Pokemon, and of these, only 2 are unique to these games. Like all previous games, you can still obtain Ash's Pikachu, the legendary trio, Crobat, Celebi, and Jirachi. However, exclusive to Heart Gold and Soul Silver is a shiny Eevee, and also a Mew, making these Gen 4 games the only ones where you can legitimately obtain a Mew. Another exclusive item to these games is the Enigma Stone, which will allow you to trigger the appearance of the Eon Pokemon not found roaming in the version being played. These being, of course, either Latias or Latios. Other mystery gifts include 5 different Pokewalker routes you can obtain, 3 of which were exclusive to Japan. Now, the final and probably the most boring mystery gift you can get in Heart Gold and Soul Silver controller is the lock capsule. This does absolutely nothing in Gen 4 and only gives you a separate menu option in the mystery gift section to view the item. Supposedly, you can transfer this item from Gen 4 to Gen 5 using the relocator item, but all you get from doing this is the TM Snarl. And with that, that is every mystery gift you can obtain right now in Delta or on a console from every Generation 4 game. Next up, we have the Generation 5 games, and like Gen 4, the first games in the gen have the most mystery gifts. Let's start with Black and White, which have 25 mystery gifts you can obtain right now on English versions of the game. Of these, 16 are exclusive to Black and White specifically, this time denoted in pink, while the 2 in light blue are Black and White version exclusives. Again, like Gen 4, you can access the mystery gifts from the game's main menu. However, thankfully with Gen 5, the option is there from the start. Now, in terms of wonder cards, this time around, you can hold a maximum of 12, up from 3 in Gen 4. Again, you'll need to delete some wonder cards if you collect at least 12, but want to keep getting more gifts. And like in Gen 4, the mystery gifts the game gives you are random and can only be obtained once, but they will still reappear randomly despite being unable to be obtained again, ultimately slowing you down. Now, the gifts you can obtain in Black and White, again in National Dex order, are the Pika Pika Carnival Pikachu, exclusively for Black and White, which was given out in Singapore in May 2012. The Summer 2012 Pikachu, exclusively for Black and White, which was given out in France, Italy, and Germany collectively from July to September 2012. The World's 2012 Pikachu, exclusively for Black and White, which was given out during the Pokémon 2012 World Championships in Hawaii on August 12, 2012. Cloyster, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game and was distributed January 20, 2013 at the Winter Regional Championships across the US. The February 2012 Mewtwo, which was given out over Wi-Fi to Black and White exclusively for 2 weeks during that month. A super fast Mewtwo, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game in person in Indonesia and the Philippines in November 2013. Smeargle, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game during the August 2013 Pokemon World Championships in Vancouver, Canada. A shiny Larvitar, which was given out exclusively to Black and White games at national finals across the world ahead of the 2012 World Championships. Ludicolo, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game at select locations on April 14, 2013 in the US and Canada at the Spring Regional Championships. Shiny Metagross, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game at select locations in mid-2013 in the United States and across Europe. Next is Shiny Dialga, Shiny Palkia, and Shiny Giratina, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game in person at select locations across the US collectively from August to October 2013 and other locations around the world in 2013 and 2014. You'll either be given the American version of these event mons or the European version. For me, all 3 of them were European. Next is Darkrai, which is exclusive to Black and White. There are 2 versions of Darkrai that the game will choose from to give you. You can either get the May 2012 version, which was given out over Wi-Fi, or the Winter 2011 version, which was an in-person event across Europe in late 2011. Next is Movie 14 Virtuoso Victini, which was given out exclusively to the Black and White games over Wi-Fi from late 2011 to early 2012, and then again in mid-2012. This was the only English event Victini released in Gen 5. Next is Scrafty, which was given out exclusively to Black and White games at the 2011 Pokemon World Championships in San Diego, California on August 14. Next is Zoroark, which is exclusive to Black and White. Like Darkrai, there are 2 versions of Zoroark that the game will choose from to give you. You'll either get, like me, the Event 11 Zoroark Month Zoroark, which was given out in select stores in Australia, Canada, and the US in September 2011, or the Summer 2011 Zoroark, which was distributed across Europe from June to October. Next is the Summer 2011 Carablast, which was given out at various locations across Europe in mid-2011, and there's also the Summer 2011 Shelmet, which was given out at the exact same time as Carablast at various locations across Europe in mid-2011 also. Next up are the only version-exclusive event Pokemon on the Nintendo DS, Reshiram and Zekrom. Zekrom was given out over Wi-Fi from March 10 to April 8, 2012 in Pokemon Black only, while Reshiram was given out over Wi-Fi during the same time period in Pokemon White only. This one here I obtained a few years ago on my actual copy of Pokemon White. Next is the Summer 2012 Keldeo, which was given out in person in various locations around the world from August 2012 to February 2013. This specific level 15 Keldeo is exclusive to Black and White. Next is the Spring 2013 Meloetta, which could be redeemed in any Gen 5 game in person at select locations around the world in early 2013. This is the only Meloetta that was given out in English in the Gen 5 games. The second to last mystery gift you can obtain from Black and White is a secret egg. Now, redeeming this on the English versions of the game will only allow you to have one, and it will hatch at random into one of 3 different Pokemon: Pansage, Pidove, and Axu, which are all based off the main character's counterparts in the anime. These eggs were originally given out at Toys R Us in the US from April 27 to May 31st, 2011, and they can also be shiny hunted if traded to another Gen 5 game they weren't received in, similar to how the shiny Manaphy egg hunt works in Gen 4. And for those wondering, the Pokemon my egg gave me was Ash's Pidove. Now, the final black and white mystery gift is probably the most important one for some people, the Liberty Pass, which was given out across the world over Wi-Fi from March to April 2011. With this, you'll be able to gain access to Liberty Garden, which you can sail to from Castelia City. Now it's here, you'll be able to actually catch a Victini in black and white specifically. While it is shiny locked, this is still to this day the only way you can obtain a Victini with your name as its original trainer. I caught mine in 2022 on my copy of White and then transferred it up into Pokémon Home, where it's been sitting ever since. And with that, that's all the mystery gifts you can obtain in the original black and white games. Now, in terms of Black 2 and White 2, like Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver before it, there are very little mystery gifts you can actually obtain. There are only 12 mystery gifts redeemable in English versions of Black 2 and White 2, and of this 12, 9 are double-ups from the original black and white mystery gifts, meaning only 3 are new and unique to Black 2 and White 2. These include Plasma GENESECT, which was a Wi-Fi event distributed in Black 2 and White 2 from October 7 to November 12, 2012. You've also got Winter 2013 Keldeo, which was a Wi-Fi event distributed in Black 2 and White 2 from January 25th to February 12, 2013. And Plasma Deoxys, which was a Wi-Fi event distributed in Black 2 and White 2 from May 8th to May 31st, 2013. But with those 3 there, that is it for all the mystery gifts you can obtain in Generation 5. So if you were to tally all of these mystery gifts from Generation 4 and Generation 5 up, you can obtain right now through either Delta Emulator or on an actual console itself 105 mystery gifts across English versions of Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, and Black 2 and White 2, which, if you exclude the double-ups, equates to 72 unique mystery gifts. Now, for the part of the video a lot of you are here for after seeing the video title and thumbnail, how do you obtain Shiny Genesect? Now, firstly, as the original distribution from July to September 2013 was only available in Japan, you'll need a Japanese ROM of either Black, White, Black 2, or White 2, and then load it up into Delta Emulator. Again, you want to be setting your iPhone's date to somewhere within the time frame when the Genesect was released to make its date met line up with what was originally distributed. I can't read Japanese, but thankfully all the menu options are in the exact same spot as in English, so it wasn't that hard to figure out where to navigate. While Mystery Gift is in your main menu straight away, you won't be able to transfer Pokemon to your actual Nintendo DS console until you get given the C gear in-game. For me, I opted to play the Japanese version of White 2, which gives you the C gear after starting a new game and beating the first gym leader. Now, in terms of actually obtaining the event Shiny Genesect, like with the English versions of the game when redeeming a mystery gift, the gift the game gives you is completely random, and as previously mentioned, even if you've obtained a specific mystery gift, it can still reappear when searching for mystery gifts despite double-ups not being obtainable. Now, when I say Japan got it good with the unique mystery gifts players were able to receive, I mean they got it good. Just look at how many Japanese event Pokemon were given out during the course of Gen 5. Multiple Kyogres and Groudons, more shiny pseudo-legendaries, the forces of nature, shiny freaking Rayquaza. Japan was eating good. For us today though, this presents a bit of a problem, as every time we want to search through mystery gift looking for a shiny event Genesect, we have to deal with absolutely every other event distribution potentially popping up and slowing down the process. I counted more than 100 event distributions here on the Bulbapedia list of local Japanese event Pokemon distributions in Generation 5, and that's not even including the dozen or so more on the Japanese Wi-Fi event page. Now, doing a very rough count, I counted 115 total mystery gifts. While the page suggests about 40 of these are exclusive to Black and White, I did receive a lot of these supposed Black and White event Pokemon in my Japanese White 2 while searching for Shiny Genesect. So I'm just going to assume the odds of finding what you're actually looking for are 1 in more than 100. So what are we actually looking for in the Japanese text that will indicate to us that we've found the right mystery gift? The answer is in this phrase here, which translates to Red Genesect Present. You'll see the word present a lot, as many mystery gifts have this on the end. But just keep looking and eventually you'll find the entire Red Genesect Present phrase written in all of its glory. Press A upon finding and bam, Shiny Genesect appears. Now for me, when I was trying to find the Shiny Genesect for this video, I ended up redeeming 69 other mystery gifts, nice, and got slowed down by countless double-ups before the Shiny Genesect appeared. No kidding, this took me about 4 to 5 hours, so definitely put on a movie in the background or something if you want to hunt for it. Now, thankfully and importantly, finally, after all of this work, as I wasn't 100% sure of this, you can, in fact, connect your Japanese ROM on Delta to a physical English version of the game on Nintendo DS, and then trade the shiny GENESECT or any Japanese event Pokemon for that matter over onto it. These event Pokemon can then go through the Poké Transporter into Pokemon Bank, and then up into Pokemon Home and onto the Switch. So if you'd like to try a unique shiny hunt and you have access to a Japanese version of a Gen 5 game, be it real or ROM, I definitely recommend giving this a shot. Finally, I'd like to go through some additional troubleshooting tips that I've learned since my last video. I've added these tips into the pinned comment of that video, but I want to voice it out here too. First of all, in my last video, I suggested removing your security to your home Wi-Fi to be able to connect to Gen 4 games with your actual DS console via internet. While this is still true, many of you have suggested creating a guest network instead to preserve your main Wi-Fi security, which is something that I did while filming for this video, so thank you. Others have also suggested creating an open hotspot with your phone to then connect to. This works for Android hotspots, I'm told. However, iPhones sadly always require you to have a password. Next, as mentioned at the start of the video, these are all the best DNS servers I've had the most luck on when redeeming mystery gifts and trading. I only played around between phone and console for my last video, so I've since played around with phone-to-phone connection. Gen 5 trading from phone to phone is where I'm still having issues. Phone to 3DS works just fine, and you can see here both of these phones are able to connect to the 3DS and begin the trade sequence. However, trying to start a trade between the two phones on Gen 5 always results in the games forever searching and never successfully connecting. One way to fix this is to ensure your devices are on different networks, so give that a try first to see if it fixes anything. A lot of you have told me you have got it working, so if you are someone like me who is having issues, perhaps try some of the recommendations on Delta's website, which I'll link to in the video description. You can also tap on the error message in Delta every time you get disconnected from the internet to access this information. Another thing causing issues you may not be aware of, especially if you're using this server here, is that using a VPN will cause it to have connection issues. This includes Apple's Private Relay, which can be found in Settings, Your Name, iCloud, and Private Relay if you use iCloud Plus. Temporarily turn this off if you're going online in Delta to potentially stop yourself having issues. Other things Delta recommends is deleting Delta's BIOS files. By doing so though, you won't be able to do certain things in Delta anymore, like virtually inserting a GBA game into a Gen 4 game. So if you still want to be able to do that, then either keep the files or re-download them again at a later date. Some of you have also asked, does connecting from phone to console work with Nintendo DS, not 3DS? Well, I'm happy to report, yes, it does. While I initially had connection issues with both Gen 4 and Gen 5, where the connection would just time out, upon switching my spare phone's connection to my main phone's hotspot and leaving just the Nintendo DS console connected to my home Wi-Fi, trading in both gens worked completely fine. This was something I did not think would actually work. And also, for the record, obtaining mystery gifts solely on the original Nintendo DS works just fine too. Another question I've gotten a lot of is, can you battle? Which I'm happy to also report, yes, you can. And it works pretty good without any lag. Water-type starter coming in clutch here for the win. One final thing to try if you're still having issues is to completely erase the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection settings in-game. This can be done easiest from the game's main menu. Once you're in the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection menu, tap Options, tap Erase Nintendo Wi-Fi connection configuration, and then tap OK. This will delete all Wi-Fi settings in-game and then shut it down. The settings, including the DNS server, will still be there when you jump back into the game. However, some bugs may have been flushed out. If you have any further questions, tips, or suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And finally, again, a big shout out to everyone involved in making this magic happen. This includes Riley Testit and the Delta Emulator team for creating such an incredible app, as well as the people who run and host the independent DNS servers seen in the video here that allow for online play, and also those over at Melon DS, which Delta relies on to run Nintendo DS games. And hey, if you enjoy this video and want to see more Pokemon and Nintendo content from me, then please hit subscribe, leave a comment, like, and share. All of this goes a long way to getting my videos out there. My name's highly Instagram, but you can call me Matt, and as always, may all your shiny hunts be quick. Take care.